Yeah, just can't say enough really good things, and how they're running to the ball, the team defense. It's been great. Keep her going.
That is the idea. That's Jim Harbaugh after the game on Saturday. I'm Dennis Fithian. And it's Amazing Blue Reviews. Good afternoon, Michigan football on this Monday. We're here live weekdays at 1 o'clock talking about the latest in Michigan sports. Coming up in just a minute or two, as per usual, on a Monday, we'll talk with another Jim, former Wolverine Jim Scarcelli, longtime high school coach in the area. And he'll have his thoughts on Nebraska on Saturday, looking ahead to Illinois, and, looking ahead to Ohio State. And beyond for Michigan as it comes down to this. Look, I sit here on this Monday with Michigan being 10-0, and if Michigan would have connected on a couple bombs on Saturday, I would be sitting here telling you that I think Michigan is the favorite to win it all. If Michigan would have connected on a couple deep throws, I would be saying that Michigan should be number one tomorrow in the college football ranking. And if they weren't number one, I'd be telling you that I think that they could beat number one. That I think they could beat number two. If they would have done that, that's where this team is at. Saturday they were going to win the game. If they would have showed people that they, got that mojo going with a deep passing game, are you talking about Michigan being the favorite to win the national championship? As it is. Some people upset, why is everybody upset? Michigan's 10-0. I don't think they're really upset. I think that they were hoping that they were going to be sitting here on a Monday looking like Michigan was going to be the favorite to win it all. As it is, they're one of three teams that has the best chance to win it all. And they're playing one of those teams coming up a week from Saturday. So they're in the mix. It's not it's the position you want is everything that you want. 10-0, control your own destiny, play one of the teams in front of you, college football. We know all that. But so this is where they're at, and it's a pretty good spot. It could have been a little bit better. We could have been sitting here maybe telling everybody, whoa, wait a second. The favorite, and then people would be looking at the sports books. Michigan is they're not the favorite. If they would have played in did the deep game, had success in the deep game, we'd be sitting here looking at the sports book saying, Michigan might be favored against Ohio State coming up a week from Saturday. As it is, again, they've got a pretty good shot to beat Ohio State coming up a week from Saturday. Hey, you got to beat Illinois first. I know that. I know people are like, better take it one game. But I got it. I don't have to take anything. I like to take it all. Sometimes I like to take it one game at a time. And other times I like to not only look to this the following week, but then the following week after that, and the following week after that, and then the following week after that. And then next year, and we do all those kind of things. So it's a fun Monday. People, had their hopes of tuning in on Saturday, and thinking about Michigan doing all this crazy stuff. Heard that the stat over the last 5 games, Michigan has outscored their opponents 117-3. That's correct. Starting with the Indiana game that they were tied at 10 at the half with the Hoosiers. Penn State's opening drive against Michigan, the Nittany Lions took it down the field and kicked the field goal. Other than that, no other team has scored a point on Michigan in the second half. That is a nice stat, Richard. There's no doubt about that. And one that I'm going to go ahead and tuck away here and mention it to Jim Scarcelli, who is getting ready to join us in just a moment. I'm going to get to some of this feedback before I go right to Scar, who's standing by. Antoine saying people like me are not upset like how others think we are. Personally, I think this team can get more out of the offense, and we may need more than just the running game. That's all. Well, that's right, Antoine. I don't think that you're so far off where anybody else is. Like, you're always looking for a little bit more. I mean, like, you always hear that. I haven't really done any coaching with, let's say, any. I don't know. I coach my fantasy team, which I'd be fired if I wasn't also the general manager and owner of that team. So I haven't done any coaching, but I always hear coaches say, you go out there and win a game in basketball 100-2, and you say, well, we need to work on our transition. These coaches always have something, and we're all coaching it. We're always looking for a little something. There's, and the little something is, I don't know if it's sticking out like a sore thumb. It's there, and it's okay to talk about. Now, what you do know is that your rivals, Michigan State, well, over this, next week or two, that's all they'll bring up. Michigan can't throw the ball deep. They're not going to be, Thing is, Michigan, they might be able to beat Ohio State without being able to throw the ball deep. They might be able to win it all by playing the way that they're playing. I think it would help them, and you would feel a little bit better about their chances if they were able to connect on some of those deep shots. And I know a lot of people and I was doing the same thing, rewatch it. People are like, scheme them open, they the bad route running, combo routes, route trees, quarterback, wide receivers. I mean, all this. I'm watching the NFL, all these different route trees. I watch Aaron Rodgers. You know what he does? He drops back and he just throws it out there. Christian Watson standing right there. You know what he does? Zoop, drops right in there. Touchdown. I was watching all of those yesterday. You know what it is? The ability to throw deep. Quarterback has to have his, it really helps to be able to have a nice pocket to throw to. You get the snap, you look downfield, you're a quarterback, and you put the ball on the receiver. Put enough air underneath it, put the trajectory, very catchable football. And for a wide receiver, you get out there, give yourself a target so you can go out there. Yeah, it helps if you can run yourself open. It helps if a quarterback throw yourself open. But, the chemistry between you two, going out there, catching the football. Get after it. Catch it, and then take it into the end zone. It's not all, all these other things. It's, quarterback, it's wide receiver. Getting that to happen. And, it hasn't. But so that's where, we sit on this 14th of November. We also sit here telling you that we've got something for the big Michigan fan, and that is the Maize and Jim Scarcelli. Hey, Scar, what's going on, man? You all right on this Monday?
Hey, it was a great weekend, man. The Wolverines win, the Lions win. We are 10-0, and life is good.
Yeah, you use a lot of different things. Like you say, would you take Michigan being 10-0 after their 10 games, heading into their home finale as a big favorite against Illinois and on a collision course with Ohio State, and being number 3 team in the country, probably number 3 at worst when it comes to the college football playoff rankings? You taking that? Yeah, you're taking it. That's you are taking that.
Oh yeah, I mean things are good. We've got a couple little dinged up Wolverines, but we got a lot of depth. We were able to rest a couple guys Saturday, and but it's a senior day, last home game. That game we'll be fired up. Our team will be. Jim does a great job getting our players ready to play every week. Unlike Chip Kelly, who lost at home to Arizona. So people talk about the big game and all this other stuff. The one of many qualities of a great coach, in my opinion, is the guy that can get his team ready to play every week. And the guy that can adjust and adapt to every type of offense, every type of defense, and mentally get their team ready to play. And Jim does a good job of that. We will be ready to play a real good Illinois team that's one of the best coach defensive teams we're going to see. It might be the best the toughest challenge. Now, Penn State has better players than Illinois' defense, but this guy is a good defensive coach. I mean, he's got a great bloodline. Bielema played for Alvarez at Iowa, great defensive coach. And then he worked with them at Wisconsin. He played for Hayden Fry. He worked under Bill Belichick, for a few years there. So Bielema knows how to coach defense. They're going to challenge our run game. We're going to have to throw it and run it, just doing the things we've been doing.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, this one looked like a top 25 matchup, and watch out, Illinois, kind of like Michigan light, Michigan 2.0, but then they dropped home games to Michigan State on their own senior day this past Saturday, losing to Purdue and let the Boilermakers put a big number up on them. So, now they come in kind of limping into this game. Chase Brown, their outstanding running back. I mean, he's leading the nation in rushing yards. He limped off, not putting any weight on his right leg in the final minute of that game against the Boilers. So who knows if he's going to be available or not. Obviously, that would be big. He's their most important player. So it's something to monitor. I don't know if you're going to get anything during the week, but definitely is something to monitor on Saturday. And that'd be a big blow for the Fighting Illini. But yeah, the one thing, Scar, is that, and we've been doing it for a couple of weeks. You look past Nebraska, you look past Illinois, you talk about, well, it's going to be Ohio State, the winner of that. That's for the college football playoff. And then you start looking down the line and everything else. But yeah, and it's good from the coaching perspective, because this is a real easy game for the fans, to peek past and think about Ohio State. There's no doubt about that. I looked at this past Saturday against Nebraska, is that, Michigan went in there and, they really a workmanlike performance in the way they ran the ball. But if they were able to air it out and they were able to make some connections in the deep, the long game, the conversation this morning would be like, not only is, Michigan looking good against Ohio State, maybe they should be favored, against Ohio State. Tomorrow, they should be ranked ahead of Ohio State in the college football rankings. And then, it's the one piece. Michigan's, they're the number one scoring defense in the country. They've racked it up in the red zone these last two games, because, a lot of people were looking at that saying, guys, go in the red zone. Well, 10 to 12 touchdowns in the last two. And, they're a top 5 team, number 4 in rushing yards per game. So, but what stands out is that number 95 in the passing. If they were able to connect on a couple of those, not only be talking about favorite against Ohio State, you're talking about Michigan's the best team in the country, that you're not scared. And this is from a fan standpoint. The players can't think this way, but it would have been a national narrative. Hey, Michigan, their trajectory's off the chart. They might be better than Georgia. And I don't think people are. I think that they think that, they're happy where Michigan's at and their chances and 2 weeks against Ohio State and college football playoff. All that sounds good. But if they would have connected on Saturday, we'd be sitting here talking about Michigan being the best team in the country and maybe winning it all. So it's a little bit different conversation this Monday after what happened Saturday, even though the final score 34-3 looks really good.
Yeah, Denny, we all want perfection, and I get the fans, and the narrative of that we can't throw deep, and we're having trouble throwing deep. But, I'm looking at other things that we are doing offensively. We're securing the darn football, which I love as a coach and as a defensive player. I don't want to go on the field because my team keeps turning the ball over. So we've been doing that. And, we are able to run the football in all types of conditions, and we've been able to continue to do that against just about everybody we faced. We're not predictable. People might complain about people being predictable. And we continue to have creative offenses, a creative scheme. We play with good technique. So I'm just looking at things from a coach's standpoint. We play with great technique. We convert short yardage when we need it. We've been this past week we were pretty good in their darn red zone, and week to week, Denny, as I remember, one of the first things I remember Coach McCartney, Coach Muller's always saying is, we aren't letting anybody throw the ball over our head, and every coach talks about that defensively. That is one of the number one priorities. We're going to stop the run. We're not going to give up the deep pass. So, and how many deep passes has Michigan given up this year? Not too many. And that's a sign of a good defense. And the people we're playing, their coaches are going to try to emphasize the same thing. We're not going to let Michigan throw the ball over their head. So we don't have the guy like, Michigan State had the big kid just jump right over top of our guy. We just don't have that guy on our team right now making those kind of plays. And I get that narrative, Denny, but there's a hell of a lot of other things that we're doing damn good on offense. And people still have to defend our deep pass, though. They have to defend it because they know that we have the guts to do it. We have guys that can get up the field. It just hasn't been as successful as we want. But I guess I'm defending the overall offense and I think you are too. We are successful. We are moving it, but I just want to defend it. No turnovers, moving it. We are creative. We can attack you in a lot of different ways with the run game. Our short passing game is good. Our bubble screen game is good. We got guys in space that make people miss. So, and I continue to believe it's going to be good enough to win a Big Ten championship.
Yeah, that's the idea. The idea is not losing any games and winning the Big Ten championship. And what we have figured out, however long you've been watching college football, certainly, now with Michigan and Ohio State, where things sit, if Michigan can win a Big Ten championship, that means they're beating Ohio State. It means they have a really good chance. That means they're going to, at this point, make the college football playoff. And, I feel better, even with, what we're talking about, the passing game, Michigan, if you can get into that Final Four, like, last year, sure, you're hoping for everything, but it would feel different this year. If you just fast forward and all of a sudden put Michigan in the Final Four, I feel like Michigan could win it all. So even with, talking about the passing game, that's why it just was about a feeling, hey, you could have felt like, you're the favorite, the overwhelming favorite. Now you might not feel like you're the overwhelming favorite. You might feel like, but you got a lot of nice things going for you. And, bringing a smash, punch you in the mouth, ground and pound game that other teams haven't dealt with. You can talk about defending it all day long. You can practice it all week, but Michigan's been doing it all year long. This is what they're bringing to the table. And they're saying, here it is, come stop it. And nobody has been able to do it. So, that should make people feel confident in, Michigan's chances. Overwhelming, favorite, confidence, just wherever you're at. I think, Michigan fans are feeling pretty good, and they should feel pretty good about where they're sitting right now.
Yeah, exactly right. We should feel confident about all the whole overall program, man, we're doing some good things. We're winning the line of scrimmage, man. Both sides of the ball, we win the line of scrimmage. There's nobody that's won the line of scrimmage so far against us, and we play with great technique. We'll get into when you're ready to talk Ohio State. I'm seeing more and more things I like, but Illinois will play really, really good technique defensively. They're not going to stand up. I think they're going to adjust better than Penn State did. A lot of that Penn State 40 points we hung on them was they just were misaligned often. And, we got a lot to be positive about, confident in. Things are rolling, man.
I'm pretty surprised that Michigan's defense has played as well as it has. And, they're the number one scoring defense in the country. It's given up just over 11 points a game. And just what they've done in the second half in the last 5 games. Penn State, you mentioned them. They had a drive, their first drive in the third quarter against Michigan. They got a field goal. Other than that, Indiana, Michigan State, Rutgers, and Nebraska, none of those teams scored on Michigan in the second half. Penn State, after they got the opening drive field goal, they didn't score. You add it up, that's 3 points in the last 5 games that Michigan has given up in the second half. Meanwhile, they've scored 117 points. 117-3. Then that side of the ball and what they're doing there and coming out in the second half is as impressive as you can get. I mean, you want to feel good about Michigan's chances about getting to Indy? Look at that number. You want to feel good about
Denny,
New Year's Eve? Look at that number.
when I look at that defensively, there's two things that jump out when you're dominating the second half. Number one, you got real smart coaches. You're making adjustments. You're seeing what they're doing, and you're making the tweaks. You're getting your defense in the right position. The second thing is, I think we play a lot of kids. We play a lot of guys. We're not tired. Our guys. I mean, these guys are really smart. They're so much smarter than when I played. Working guys in rotations. These guys don't play more than 3-4 plays in a row, and they're out of the game, which is smart. They're playing. They're playing fast. And we play 25 guys on defense. So smart coaches, adjusting, playing a lot of players, depth. Those are the two big factors I see from that second half domination.
Yeah, and I was thinking a lot about it. Those different players that they've been, the defensive line, whether you want to start with the two guys inside, Jenkins and Mozzie Smith, they've been really good. All the different guys coming off the edge, led by Mike Morris. They've been tremendous. They really do have, you talk about the depth, you feel pretty good. Like if you're a Michigan fan, you get DJ Turner and Jymon Green and Will Johnson and Mike Sanders still, when you're talking about your two corners and maybe a nickel guy. I mean, that's four guys. That's good. That's good depth. Safeties look pretty good. Harbaugh, he mentions how he wants more Rod Morris. Rod Morris is a great football player. Rod Moore, every time he's back there, he makes plays, makes tackles. I could see why he likes Rod Moore.
Oh yeah, they've done a great job with that secondary. The guys are in the right positions, and they ask them to do so many things mentally. That's one of the things I'm really impressed with. Our secondary, we can count it on one hand. The blown assignments. Where I watch so many games on Saturdays, you see so many times guys are just, no one's near, and there's a touchdown, there's no one there. That hasn't happened, but a couple times with Michigan. And and we're playing, a lot of young guys are getting more and more time. Kenneth Grant is going to be something special. We're going to take a look at him when we watch some film. He's getting more time, more clock. And a lot of young players. And all these reps they're getting now, they're going to help for next year too. Next year, game one, you want to have the guys that have played. All these reps matter.
And the other true freshman, you mentioned Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham. He already is special the way that he's playing. He came out of camp as a starter, which was a pretty big surprise. All right, so having said all that about the defense, Ohio State's passing game. We'll go. We talked about what Michigan did on Saturday, looking ahead to Illinois this upcoming Saturday. A week from Saturday, it's down to Columbus. How do you think Michigan's defense will do against the Buckeye offense? Of course, the passing attack. They've got a number of outstanding wide receivers, and they got C.J. Stroud. How do you think that Michigan will hold up? The kind of first take on that.
I'm watching their offense. Their offensive line is huge. They will be the biggest, most athletic, strongest offensive line we faced. But I think they block kind of high. I don't know that their technique is the greatest running the football. You still got to get down and move people. I'm feeling that we are going to be able to not control, or stop their run game, but adequately maintain it. I feel really good about our defense's ability. We're not going to make them one-dimensional, but we are going to be – I just feel real confident about our run defense against Ohio State. And if we can get to the point like we've been with Penn State and all these other guys where we were able to make them one-dimensional, then we'll really be able to do some things to help defend the pass game. And the quarterback is accurate. They got big, fast, athletic receivers. But I see offensive line technique, big dudes, 6'7", kind of high. We're going to be under them. We're going to slow that run game down. And I just feel confident about our ability to slow down that Ohio State offense, Danny. I just really do. I watched them against Indiana. I'm like, we're gonna freaking be underneath them, and we're gonna play that run game. And they got running back issues. I think kids banged up, a couple guys. We'll see what we get in a couple weeks, but I just feel confident with it.
Yeah, we just talked about Michigan's personnel. If they're able to get some pressure on Stroud, he's a really good quarterback. Most quarterbacks are. They can sit there and look around, and But if you're able to put some pressure on him, he's not so hot, throwing off platform and on the move. So that seems like a big key against Ohio State as we sit here under 2 weeks to go until that game. The Illinois straight ahead. So how about Michigan being able to run the ball? Ohio State statistically great against the run. And do you think Michigan will be able to put on their hard hats and go down there and move the Ohio State defense and be able to make enough plays in the running game, supplemented by JJ and whatever he's going to do with his legs and arm?
Denny, that's the $1 million question with us facing Ohio State this year, and it's about their defensive coordinator. That's the $1 million question. We had great scheme last year. Our players executed. Our coaches did a real good job of creating confusion and problems for their defensive coaches. Our players outplayed their guys. Our coaches outcoached them. The key is, I'm watching this Knowles guy, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. There's things I see again that I feel confident. But it's good. Our coach, the coach has got to be great in that game. I do feel good about our ability to run the football though. But our players, we got to pick up because they do some exotic stuff. They got a lot of Don. I've said it. He has a lot of Don Brownish type stuff. He'll bring people from all over. He likes bringing linebackers all the time, and they're slanting and moving. And he's an exotic, creative guy. And our players we got to block those all that movement and all that stuff. But I feel good about it. I just feel confident again with this. Again, I'm just going to finish up on what you said about one thing about Ohio State though, with those big offensive linemen. They are good pass protectors, and we didn't rush the quarterback very well this past week against Nebraska. We're just not. We got to get better. We got to find a way to, because that's what we were able to do last year against that kid. And that's one thing those big fat offensive linemen can do. Those 6'6", 320-pound athletic offensive linemen. These guys are monsters because they can pass protect. And but I feel confident going into that game. Let's take care of the Fighting Illini.
I hear you. And Stroud he wasn't all that bad last year. It was really Michigan's offense that just ran it down their throat and just kept scoring. And they were able to answer any kind of momentum Ohio State would have offensively with their own, and they just came back and responded that way. I don't know, I kept thinking about everybody, yesterday. I was talking to a lot of Michigan fans yesterday as I was watching the pros, and, my one friend was saying, about the passing game. He's like, once you play 10 games, you pretty much know what you're looking at. And, his thought was that Michigan didn't have their two top targets in the game Saturday, and that was Schoonmaker and Donovan Edwards after he went out with whatever, is ailing him. And, you're hoping you're going to be able to get him back. But that McCarthy has a good connection with Ronnie Bell, and that he loves Schoonmaker, and Donovan Edwards has been, coming along there in the passing game. And it really feels like an X factor. Donovan Edwards, what he's able to do, get him on linebackers, get him on safeties, get him on anybody. A real playmaker. But yeah, I think, those three guys, you start to talk about, well, they need to do this, they need to do that. Those are the three guys that have been McCarthy's, what do you want to call them? I don't know, top targets. I'm going to say security blankets. Usually you say that about the tight end. But Bell, Schoonmaker, and Edwards. If Roman Wilson, he's been whatever, he missed a game and he's back, but, he is back. He feels like another one, at least from what we have seen through 10 games, and you don't need that many. I mean, you'd like to have everybody and do all these other things, but that's four pretty reliable guys with some playmaking ability when you look at the speed of Wilson and what he can do. Obviously, Donovan Edwards is a matchup problem. Schoonmaker can do it all there, and Bell's kind of that way too. So those four pretty important pass catchers and X factors, when it comes down to just Michigan offensively, just talking out loud about them.
Yeah, you're right. Donovan is a huge factor with the pass game. He's a problem, and we got to have him healthy these next 2 weeks. But Schoonmaker is the big deal because here's when if I'm defending Michigan, and I got 84 over there at tight end, I know they're not throwing the football to him. They don't. So I know that if he's in the game, they're probably running the ball over there. And then the other two guys, the other young ones, you got the freshmen. I like seeing them catch the football today, this or Saturday. And Bredesen, he'll catch it a little bit, but they don't really give you that. They haven't shown that we're gonna run the football to the point of attack where they're gonna block down on a defensive end. So there's, that's the thing about Scooney. He gives you both. He's not an imposter. He's not he's not a tackle playing tight end. He's not those young tight ends are getting there, Bredesen and Loveland, but they don't give you that point of attack block down on a defensive tackle like Scooney will give you. So we definitely need him ready these next 2 weeks. And but your friend is making good observations about that. But there's a difference without Scooney in there.
He's watching. He knows a few things about football. He likes you. And he also told me that, start telling Scar, man, that he's no imposter when it comes down to making picks. This guy's been riding your selection for the last 6 weeks. And, I watch a lot of football and, I see Jamie Foxx and Barry Sanders and these casinos, man, they're spending an awful lot of money, getting an awful lot of people in there and they all want them to play. But Scar, man, they're going to have your name and your picture, hanging around the casinos. Like, don't let this guy bat, keep this guy out of here. We don't want him making the selections. You're on fire. You came back with another winner this past week, and you had Army, and that was a flat out winner. So give us a little idea of what you're thinking about this coming up Saturday.
Oh boy, Denny! These lines just came out here. I'm taking a quick look, and I'm going right back to Army again, -10. They're playing UConn. UConn is I don't know. We saw them. We played them early in the year. I don't know if Jim Moore is going to defend them. We kind of got lucky there. I thought Army would hang some points on that team, but they were getting 9. It was a good win. I'm taking them again, -10. They're playing at home. I've been to an Army football game over there on the Hudson, and they get fired up when they're home, and their crowd gets into it. I like them again, -10 against UConn. And anyway, I'm going right back to the to Army. I like what they do.
Did you walk around the stadium? The colors. I would imagine. They're fabulous. I've just seen the.
Oh, Danny, let me tell you, I've been to all 3 of our academies. I think it's something you need to check out. It's beautiful. They're just all 3 of them are beautiful. Air Force, Navy, and the Army. The West Point and the history there, and you just see these guys going to class and women going to class, and they're just, you feel good about your country, and it's well spent, money well spent on great education, and those are 3 beautiful institutions.
Go Army! That's Scar's pick of the week, going right back to the well that has served him so well last week, and actually earlier in the year when the Bear on ESPN was saying that was his lock of the century, and you went against him, and you were correct. All right, Scar, you ready to break down some film?
I'm trying to see what else I didn't cover on Illinois, Danny. I just want to quickly, they're a 3-4 base defense. They're going to mix it up a lot. He's going to do some different things. So they're going to be, their front will be similar to what we do a lot of. We run the 3-4 often. Illinois doesn't win with great athletes. They're not as good as athletic as Penn State, but I think I think they're really, really smart. They're going to, they focus on stopping the run, just like Michigan. That's their whole deal there. Their quarterback, Denny, is a good athlete. He was he played at Syracuse. I watched him when he was at Syracuse. He's an accurate, athletic kid. He's a problem, man. He's kind of like the Peyton Thorne type kid. He's going to run around. He's going to make plays with his legs. We got to, we got to get a handle on him. And they don't really beat themselves. They have, these last couple of weeks, they had the turnovers and did some of the dumb things they haven't done in the past. But, I just, if they get back to playing smart, it's gonna be a hell of a challenge. But all right, we'll move on here, Denny. We'll get into this. We'll take a look at Nebraska here. Are you ready to roll?
I am.
So let's take a look.
You got the kickoff.
Let's see our kickoff team is, really hasn't been challenged. Here we go. Their first series, a lot of our stunning and blitzing wasn't very good. I just thought this was not a good start. It was uncoordinated stunt. We're in man coverage, and we're doing some things up here, and we're kind of running into each other. It just, this was a conversion for them. Nice throw. But we're bringing guys here, and again, we normally coordinate some of this stuff better, and we got guys running into the same gap, and they're blocking us here, man, and we just got to be better. You got to know your gap when you're blitzing and when you're stunting. So that was not a good start. They convert that. And again, here we go again now, 3rd and 9. We end up getting off the field here. This is Okie. I just don't like seeing us lose contain. We got to be smarter. Again, I'm always thinking about the Buckeyes. We should have had a sack here. Should have had them pulled up, stay outside. There's no reason for that. And luckily, they're in man coverage. So Junior's right there because he's feeling this running back here. He's feeling this running back, and he just so happens to be in the right spot. So we get a break there, but we got to have our edge players have got to contain the quarterback. I played this position, get upfield, know how fast this kid is, but we get off the field. Any thoughts there, Denny?
Yeah, the play before, I wanted to ask you if there's one thing that Michigan's defense, like the numbers are great. Second half numbers are, as good as any team ever. But these go routes that you're talking about, and is the safety just not coming over there quick enough? Obviously, the ball's right on the money. You'd like to see the wide receiver or the DB.
They're playing. Yeah, Danny, let's take a look. They're playing with one single high safety here. So this safety is going to work to the middle of the field. He's going to try to look at it. This is why people do this, and that's why he's running it along the sideline away from this safety, because we're trying to disguise, but on the snap of the ball, he's working back this way. So he's going to have to help this. He's got to help this, and there's an eligible receiver here. So this guy has a lot of stuff to think about. We're in it appears to be man coverage. So is that your question? Why is he not getting there?
Well, no, that's just like what this is. He looked like he moves him a little bit with his eyes here. Like Michigan's got hit a few times with passes. It's a better technique by the corner. That just safety needs to get there more. Yeah. Chalk it up as a great play by the opponent. I mean, all those things like.
Yeah, it's it's tough, man to man out here. He's got all this, he's got all this room to work with, this receiver, man, and it's a tough ask. And he guy puts a move on him. He's a big, they got a decent athlete there too. Quarterback made a play, but the darn pass rush. Well, you bring people. There's nothing there, man. We got to get some help. Get the kid some help. Here we go at a straight drop off of play action. They're running zone under here. This is a straight drop off play action, great protection. Again, when you get your run game going, like people got to fear our run game. That's why, it's hard to rush the quarterback off of this type of action. But we get so much time. We get them in some type of a zone deal here. They're dropping underneath here. And we get Ronnie Bell finds a seam in there. But I thought that was nice. Great protection. Not a deep route, but let's get to the next play.
Very nice, Ronnie Bell. So there's some people they keep saying like the passing game's broken. No, the long passing game is. Michigan can scheme guys open. That's what happened right there with Ronnie Bell. JJ put that on the money. That was good. The intermediate, short. The ball comes out quick from JJ McCarthy. But yeah, the deep passing game. There's too many people talking about they can't throw the football. They can throw it. They do a good job. They can't throw it deep. So just hammering that home.
But at the same time, you take what they give you, Denny. You take what they give you. If they're giving you 15, 18 underneath, we'll take it. Here we go, 4th and 2. We need movement. We got some conflict with motion. We don't know. They don't know what we're doing. We got quarterback keep off of this stuff. there's a lot of things. I pause it right here because this conflict, 52 and 80, we're hammering these dudes, but this conflict here, again, we run JJ on the keep here at times. So that's just enough maybe to get this guy a little wider than he should be to squeeze down on taking on this block. But the conflict, and then I really like the way Barnhart and Honigsberg just wall down this right side here, just caving dudes in. But that little bit of conflict helps from the stuff that we run, pulling this thing out. Carry out your fake, JJ. There you go. And there you go. First down, fourth, that's a nice little conversion there. Power away from the tight end. We've been heavy running to the tight end on our power. This week we had a lot of success running power away. So we're gonna block down here and pull from the other side. We pull the backside guard and tackle. We pull backside guard. This El Hadid he's an athletic kid, and it's good to have Hayes back. He's a big athletic kid, and we got some things happening with these two, man. And Donovan reads it. They end up making it bounce outside. But that's why these linemen got to be athletic. Hayes reads it. He's coming underneath it. He just takes it outside, but he reads it. Donovan picks it up. Nice 9-yard run. So power away from the tight end. Every team, Denny, you don't know how they're going to defend you, or you don't know what when you line up in a certain formation, the coaches say, "Oh, okay, they're giving us this. We didn't know that. We didn't expect that." So you have to take what they're giving you. Just like the people that say we can either throw deep more. Well, maybe we'll take 18, 20 yards. Anyway, protection verse 5. Nothing happening here. Great protection. Good to see Roman back. Let's take a look. Here's Roman right in here. He gets held. Good. Good to see Roman back. But again, let's see this is a straight drop. Yeah, just a straight drop back. They bring in 5 guys. We pick it up. Zero pressure. Zero. That's
had a nice, easy touchdown dropped right in the basket there. That was a really nice throw. Like, you don't see JJ making that throw a lot, but that one right there is everything that you were looking for. If he didn't get held, that would have been, I think, picture perfect touchdown Michigan. You agree with that?
Yeah, it could have been. He's they got a slower guy on him, and Roman puts a move on it. It could have been easily, but we pick up the penalty, so it turns out being a touchdown. Okay, here's four-man front, normal. We bring both linebackers. We need to get pressure. This is a freshman here playing. This is early in the game. So, again, we're rotating, getting young guys ready. But we got to get some pressure. We're bringing both backers. We drop our edge player here. And, that kind of play, Illinois will pick that up. The Buckeyes will pick that thing up. We got to get pressure. I'll give Nebraska credit. They blocked us pretty darn good, their protection. But at least we're in our gaps. We just got to find a way to beat a guy. Who's rushing at the top here? Oh, that's Jenkins in there. Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't our best pass rushing performance. This dude here was good for them, this 44. He ends up beating Barnhart here. I just wonder if sometimes JJ gets so comfortable that he's not because we've done such a good job on pass protection that sometimes he isn't as aware of as other quarterbacks that Michigan's had where they're running for their life all the time. You know what I mean, Denny?
I do. I wonder, it's not picking on Barnhart, but Hayes is so big and like a prototypical tackle. He looks like he turns his hips and has his arms. And Barnhart just doesn't look all that big, and I'm surprised they don't maybe give him some help here. But that's. Yeah, well, this kid's good, and until somebody really shows you that you need to, commit a running back to doing those kind of things, you really, just see if you can handle it. But yeah, Hayes is probably a little better at that kind of stuff.
58 pressure, great tackle in space, 23. So here's Mozzie here. We got him 3rd and 7. This is the kind of stuff we got to do against the Buckeyes. And next, this week too, though, we got to tackle in space. Mozzie back, just a straight bull rush. Some of that stuff adds. I like seeing pressure. And the great tackle by Michael Barrett there. That's a big that a big tight end. I think it's a big tight end. So that's a big nice play, keeping this kid from dragging. Michael Barrett's, he's not the biggest kid, man, and he gets him on the ground and they're punting the football. So that's a great tackle in space. Got to get it done. Got to have it.
Linebackers.
Let's see here. I think I missed. Yeah. Yeah. So that's nice job by him tackling in space. Let's see what we got here. 3rd and 15, uncoordinated stunt. I think we get off the field, but again, I don't like it because we're not really coordinated. I'll show you what I mean. So Denny, I played this position right here. Okay, so Mozzie's coming around. Mozzie's looping around. He's contained. So if I know that as an edge player, I can take an inside go on this tackle or whoever's blocking me. I don't want to have 2 guys outside rushing because then the quarterback's going to run up inside the pocket. So that's what ends up happening, and I just don't understand it. This guy should know Mozzie's coming to contain. I'm going to punch. I can work inside. We saw Ajabo. We saw Hutchinson make a living with this stunt right here last year. We got to do better. We got to have it. And it ends up stepping up in the pocket. But what I liked here was we get our coverage realizes what's happening. Now you can't start coming up until, he crosses the line of scrimmage, but you get a feel for it. And then we got to keep leverage. You got to know where your help is. And I'm watching this, and I just really liked what I was seeing here because we cup them in real nice. This guy is crucial. He's got to be thinking right shoulder tackle, right? He is not getting outside here. No way, because I got 3 other dudes here, and the same thing these guys are thinking. We got to cup them, get them cupped in, and that's good. They're punting the darn football. So those are little things that I look for. And that's smart players and understanding where their help is. Punch, jam, hold them up, delay coverage. We do a good job with this. We get a little return here. So, Denny, when you're on punt return, they don't know if you're coming to block the punt or jam them up so they can't run down and cover the punt. And you can't touch the center. You hit the center now. You got to let them get like 2 steps before you can hit them. Otherwise, it's a penalty. But also know this: the Michigan punt return team will look at these guys. They'll look at every one of these players, and they're going to say, okay, sometimes we can't. We're going to let somebody run free, and it's the most unathletic guy you're going to let run free. So we don't, and sometimes we'll block the center. We'll get a guy on the center. This time we don't put anybody on the center because we see he's a 300-pound unathletic kid. He's not going to tackle anybody. So you see this kid? We don't have anybody on him. I just wanted to point that out. So we end up getting a little return here though, because I think we had good holdups. It's not a big thing, but that's a first down right there, Denny. You know what I mean? That's one less first down our offense is going to have to make. Where we catch the ball at? We catch the ball, and now he's gone. He's going 5. He's going 8, 9, 10. That's 9 yards. That's one less first down. You follow me?
Yeah, Scar. Jerry Hanlon, old Michigan coach. There's a lot of hidden yardage in special teams if you execute like that. And you sound a lot like Hanlon there, talking about getting a first down and everything that was going on there.
Okay, here we are running a power, and this is why I talk about we have to have these guys got to be good here because we want the ideal situation is you want your guards and your backside pullers to come downhill. You don't want them to have to pull here, but because we're getting movement here, You'll see El Hadi comes downhill, and that's where we want to get downhill. And now we can, we're coming at them, and it's better angles and it's tougher on the defense. So this defensive end, if there's a bubble here, it makes it easier for this guy now. But we're getting movement here, so now we're hitting this thing downhill. Just want to point that out. And I really like the way El Hadi pulls and kicks out. He's an athletic, tough kid out of Sterling Heights. And then Hayes is athletic enough to get up in there. So that's our bread and butter play, man. And we really ran it well against Nebraska. Good to see the young freshman in here. This little wheel route. It's 2nd and 5. Young freshman catching the ball. This kid's going to be something special. I can see why he was highly recruited. And we give him a lot of time, and he runs a wheel route. We can't see the whole deal, but he's kind of probably coming out here like he's going to the sideline, and this guy gets turned, and then he comes underneath. But he's a big athletic kid. Secure the ball. There you go. That kid's going to be something special.
Already is.
Yeah, for a true freshman, I mean, that's a good deal there. Okay, the vision of 2. All right, Danny, we're just coming straight up. This is a straight inside zone. We're just blocking. We're double teaming and blocking, and he's going to try to find the gap. Now, he's taking a picture. There's 6 guys up here, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys blocking. Okay, so there's going to be an empty gap. But you don't know which way these guys are slanting. They could slant to our right. They could slant to our left. They could bring these backers. He's taking a picture right now. Okay. And then as soon as just before he gets the ball, now he's got to take another picture because these guys looks like they're slanting to their right, our left. So it looks like they're plugging up all these gaps. So he took another picture now and he sees that there's something outside. I remember working with Freddie Jackson at the camp, and he was the old running back coach, and he did so many drills. As he was trying to evaluate the young running backs that were recruiting. He put them through a lot of drills where he could try to get a feel for their vision. Some of the things he said you couldn't really coach, and Corum has the vision to take that picture and see it. And any thoughts on that, Denny?
Yeah, he looked like he had some typewriter feet there as well, setting his guy up and being able to.
Oh, yeah. Then, you're absolutely right. The vision was the initial observation. And then it was just straight athletic ability. Here we go. Red zone offense. All them people that say, we just want to grind it in there. We just want to run it 4 times. Well, here we go on 1st down. This is a heavy run formation. You don't know what Michigan's doing here. It's hard to predict.
They're predictable. That's what I would say.
We're unpredictable, which we want. Denny, you and I are poker players, man. We know you don't want someone to tell you they know how you're going to play, right?
No, sometimes you put them all in. Sometimes you limp in.
So they're a little confused here.
Nice. Yeah, that's it. That's a nice play there, because everybody in the world thought Michigan was just going to run it right up the middle 5 times, 3 times.
So, anyway. Conflict, creativity, courageous coaches. We're not predictable. Protection, verse 6. Corum step up. JJ to Roman. So they're bringing 6 guys. Real good protection. Let's see how we pick it up. I mean, that's nice. Bringing 6. Everybody, a hat on everybody. Corum. Look at Corum take on this big 300-pounder. This is the stuff I like when I watch running backs, and I know the emphasis. Old Terrell Burton, our old running back coach, and Coach Schembechler, and he wanted guys that would step up and block a defensive end. Look at Corum here; he ain't afraid. And then Roman has the wisdom. This is 3rd and 10. This is where Roman's good, man. He knows. Look, I get the 1st down. That's a smart kid. Got to have those plays, man.
More Roman Wilson.
Husker. Yep, Roman Wilson. Here we go. This is 4th and 1. Michigan's got the ball 4th and 1. Okay, Huskers are going to cut a late shift. And a lot of times people will do that to get you to jump off sides. Watch how they shift. You see how they just shifted there, Benny?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing that for two reasons. They're doing that. One, they're going to that sometimes the linebacker will make a call at the same time. You know, shift, jump, move, Husker, whatever. He's going to say something. And sometimes the official will call a penalty on it, which I don't think is fair because I think the defense should be allowed to communicate also. But sometimes you get the offense jumping off sides. But anyway, they shift. Our offensive linemen don't move. But now we've got to adjust our blocking scheme. And so we're good. We're disciplined on both ends. We adjust the blocking scheme, and we don't take any bait on that late shift. You follow me?
Yeah. I like it. I like the cat and mouse game there.
Yeah, because that's just something I don't know if people see what others are doing all the time. Who needs deep pass? Let's take what they give us. Here's a slant. I know Antoine was talking about the slant. Yeah, we don't run a lot of slants, but here's a little slant to Kojo down here. In fact, I think they really like the slant with Kojo more than I think other receivers. But here's 3rd and 4. JJ puts it right on him. Good stuff.
Anthony seems like he would be good on the slant. That's good. You know, he caught that 10, 15-yard out against Michigan State last year and took it to the house.
That's right. Here's 3rd and 5. I just want to point out a play by this kid. This kid's a hell of an athlete and you know, again, JJ usually gets away with his speed here, and this kid just he takes a good angle and he runs us down. Now normally JJ can outrun this or find somebody, but you know, they defended it. People are covered. We got it protected. We get outside the defense, but they got a kid that makes a play. So I just give credit to the kid. It was a pretty good athletic play to do that to JJ. That's not easy to do. All right, know where your help is. Miss to the outside. I don't like this because we should get off the field here. It's 3rd and 2, and come up right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. Because look where Hank Jenkins is, Denny. You always got to miss the tackle to where your help is. You see where Jenkins is right here?
Yeah.
If he comes up right shoulder and misses this play and makes him come back, Jenkins will drill him right here, and they're punting the football. You follow me?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like seeing this stuff. We got it. I mean, I guarantee you that's exactly what their coaches are saying to him in the meeting yesterday. Right shoulder. Blitz them outside, 1st down. We can't have it. And then we don't hit them late, but just got to point it out. We can't have it. We got to get that squared away. How about these Michigan fans? Wet, nasty weather. They're there. I like it. Smart adjusting defense. It's 3rd and 8. They got one back. Looks like they got a tight end, 3 receivers in the game. Let's see how we adjusted here. There's motion. Look at all the movement that Michigan's doing with that motion. You see that, Denny? Sometimes people don't understand sometimes just one guy moving, how it affects so many different things that you have to do defensively. And you got to have guys that are smart enough to do it. And, he's moving over here. He's moving up and he's moving over. You see that just because of one guy moving? And here we are. And we make the right adjustment. We got a guy there. This guy's a 5-star kid starting to play like one.
Yeah.
Good job. Tackle him. Good job. Punt the football. Get off the field. Smart defense. Power play. We put a clinic on Saturday. Okay, point of attack. Watch how good we are at the point of attack. This is what I mean about this block. I always thought this was the most important block running this play is right here. You got to have movement. And I know I keep beating this up, but watch, we're just moving these dudes, man. You know, now we can hit this thing downhill. And I just want to point out Honigsberg and Barnhart had a great game. They put these guys, knocking them back, setting out. Here we go. 1st down. Too easy. That's a great job.
Clinic.
See that, Danny? Clinic.
Yeah,
That's the stuff you draw up. That's the stuff when you got your, because Michigan has a high school clinic every year. I used to bring my coaches up there, and that's probably one of the plays that you put up on the board and you show it to coaches. This is how you run the power play. I just wanted to point this out because I know I used to look at this stuff as a player and as a coach. So if I'm playing over here and I see this guy cheated up a little bit and I see him back off the ball, what does that mean? It means something. I guarantee you it means something. And it probably means they're going to run the ball over here because now he's off the ball so he can pull. If he wants a block, this guy would be moving up. So anyway, I think it's a tell. You know, Danny, in poker, people have tells. Coaches do in football too. So anyway, I'm seeing it. And again, we're executing the power play again, and we block it perfectly. But I don't like where I can see it as an old, washed up coach. I guarantee you the enemy sees that stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. You're not a washed up coach.
I was surprised we ran this play up 14. Now we ran this play when JJ was expendable last year. Right? We used to throw him in there and let him run, you know, because he was the backup. But, you know, I mean, okay, we're up 14. I know we're going to run this play versus the Buckeyes, but here we go, QB power. I was surprised we ran it, but it's easy to block. It's hard to defend this play because you just got an extra blocker out there. And we block it like power, and only now Corum, we're going to block down, and we're going to pull here, and Corum ends up being like the backside guard or tackle. He's going to work in here. And read it however they defend it, but yeah, that's well run. And this play right here, you know, it's a great play. You see Lamar Jackson running it, and you'll see it in 2 weeks. In Columbus, you'll see that football play.
Yeah, I bet that they stopped the player and gave Blake Corum a helmet sticker or something for that block. He looked like a pulling guard or something. He smacked that guy and put him on his back. Great block.
Yeah, a lot of dudes blocking. Okay, here we got the young Stokes in here. This is what we want, Michigan fans. We want to know we got depth because Donovan's banged up, and we got to have another guy ready to go. So Stokes, good run, secure the ball. He's in the game. So a lot of young guys are in the game, starting to play. And I just like this. This is the stuff. Again, you got to know when to transition to two hands, because this kid was in the doghouse for about a month after that fumble, right? You know, Denny, they sent him to Siberia, and now he's back. So but I just like how he's transitioning there to secure the football. Got to secure the ball. So this play here, we saw it many, many times. I just want to know I don't know what he's thinking. Don't screw around down here. Come on, Captain, get the ball in the end zone, two hands on the ball. I just don't know what he was thinking. It would have been.
I know what he was
I don't know. What do you think he was thinking?
He was thinking he was going to reach the ball out and cross the plane and score a highlight reel touchdown. It was a great effort to be able to stay in bounds like he did. He, by inches, to be able to stop and start like he did there. It was great. And it was a great run after the catch. And he was going to lean that ball over the goal line, and he was going to score a highlight reel touchdown. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah. Well, we can't afford it. Let's not look cute.
Yeah.
I'm that old boomer, man. Two hands on the ball. Let's get it in. The future looks good. 78. This is the young fella, Grant, here. And this is Mason. This is another truth. These guys, I mean, we recruited some studs. I like what I'm seeing from 78. Watch what he does. He launches this dude. This is 3rd and 1. And this is a true freshman. And they've really coached his technique up. He's taking this guy, stuffing him back. And I just want to see it because I like knowing we got the future looks good. Because Jenkins and Mozzie, they're not going to be around forever. But we get them stopped. They convert the 4th down, but I just like seeing that from the young freshman. And here's this second offense.
Look like Chris Jones from the Chiefs down there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like our second offense executing. Here we go again with this tell. I'm seeing this depth. Come on, coaches, get that. It's obvious, man. Coach, Illinois will see that. But we block it, and here's the young Stokes kid running that ball in there, secure the ball. We got young linemen in there, young Bredesen leading through there, Al Hadid kicking out. Bredesen's a tough kid. Something that I wanted to point out was, here's Jones back in the game, Denny. He's obviously healthy. And I didn't know that. I thought he was still kind of banged up, but he's healthy, and they feel they're going to go with Barnhart still, though.
Yeah, well, working him back in there. That's great to get him out there and getting a little glaze. Like it.
Yeah. Here's the things I want, because here's the backup quarterback. These are my traits that I told my coaches I want. I don't know, in no particular order, because I coached. I went through a lot of quarterbacks, and the guy better be smart. He better be tough. He better be reliable. I can't have him in the training room or doing something stupid on campus. He's got to be accurate, and he's got to be able to run. Those are the 5 things Scar wants. Okay, and let's see Davis Warren here. I don't know how smart he is, but he looks like he's thrown some balls. I like the elusiveness. Not a perfect pass, but I want elusive, and I want accurate, and I want smart, and then I want tough, and I want reliable. I got to have you, man. That position is too important. But that was nice to see from our backup quarterback. And Denny, what would your 5 points be? This is Scar's big 5.
Want in a quarterback?
Yeah, what do you want in a quarterback? That's my 5 right there.
Well, I want toughness. I want arm strength. I want accuracy. Toughness, arm strength, accuracy. Being elusive, and I just want a great leader. Those would be the one where I'd start.
Okay. All right, good. 78 again, and here's 33 Green. This is a great job. Just like I talked about earlier, here's 3rd and 5. Okay, here's 3rd and 5, and here's the young fella again.
The other Green.
Yeah, the other Green. But look how he works outside right shoulder. You remember earlier we lit that ball outside the defense?
Yeah, you like the technique here.
Because he knows, he's got help. I got help. Okay, get your butt out here. Make sure he does not get outside the defense. And he keeps working outside. He doesn't make the tackle, okay? But he's forcing the guy to come back in, and we get him stopped. Now we got a chance on 4th down. So I like that play. There's our coach right there. I think I got one more. Here. What do we got? But let's get ready for Illinois. Yeah, Denny, I got one more. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, here's Big Mozzie. Oh, I wanted to point out Denard. That's my man right there. I just think Denard's presence is big. I think he's making it happen in a lot of ways. Michigan's 10-0 right here, but I'm just happy that this guy's working with the Wolverines. I met him, shook his hand. I like him. That's all good stuff.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Yeah, everybody give him a shout out. 33, it's uncanny. He looks just like 22. Those guys could be brothers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they are.
They are. They're twins, right? So.
Yeah. That was a great play by him. And but this game is going to be no joke, Denny. But our guys will be ready. Illinois got some big, thick dudes. You remember I told you in the preseason, I said Purdue's going to win the Big Ten West. I said that, and right now they're in position to do it. And I said Illinois is going to be the most improved team on the West side, right? In the Big Ten. And both those things are kind of playing out. Illinois is the big thing you see from Illinois that Brett Bielema did is he found the training table and he found the weight room. Everybody's 10, 15 pounds heavier on that whole team. He's got the Wisconsin blueprint, man. Those guys are big dudes, and they want to play physical. So, we're going to get challenged.
All right. Great job, Scar. It was another entertaining. You're talking about what I'm looking for from a former Michigan player coming on here. I want information. I want analysis. I want entertainment. And, you bring all three of those things. Great job.
How about good looks?
Well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
All right, man. Go blue. We got the Wolverine Hoopsters playing, I think, on Wednesday this week.
That's right.
A lot of good stuff going on. I'll see you Saturday after the game.
Can't wait. Jim Scar.